The School of Beatbox. Beatbox.
What's up, guys? Okay, so we're going to start with the kick, which is short for the kick drum or bass drum. This is it. So the sound comes from just the lips. What you want to do is start with your lips together, and rather than making the kick sound straight away, you want to build up a bit of pressure first. So you want your lips to be like a door, and imagine that you're trying to open it, but there is some resistance. Then you want to get the feeling of the door bursting open. So here's what it sounds like when you apply less pressure. And as we build more pressure before making the sound, it becomes a stronger sound, like this. And that's the kind of sound we want to make. You also don't need to breathe out air when you make this sound. Naturally, if you put your hand in front of your mouth, you'll feel air flowing out of it. But you don't need to force extra air from the lungs to make the sound, like this. You don't need to do that. Different beatboxers use different sides of their mouth to make this sound and other sounds, and you always want to be experimenting to find what feels natural for you. So I use the right side of my mouth to make the kick sound, like this. You might feel more comfortable using the front or the left side or somewhere in between, so make sure you do play around with that. So here it is again. This is the kick. Alright guys, moving on to the hi-hat, and this has got to be the easiest beatbox sound you can make. This is it. So you want to have your tongue in the T position, as if you're about to say the word taste, for example. In the same way as the kick, we're going to build a bit of pressure before making the sound. So with less pressure, you get this sound. And with more and more pressure, you get this type of sound. And that's the one we want. So if you don't know what a hi-hat is, it's the one that sits usually to the left of a drummer, and there's two metal discs that can open and close, which is controlled by a pedal. So this sound is the closed hi-hat sound when those metal discs are closed. Right? When the discs are open and you hit it, you get a different sound, which is made basically by adding more of an S sound at the end. So turns to. So the closed hi-hat and the open hi-hat. Now what you want to do is practice those together, like this, for example. And make sure you try out different patterns yourself as well. Okay guys, there's a good variety of snares that you can use, like the rim shot, the inward snare, the classic 808 snare. But here I'm going to teach you the PF snare. Okay, so the PF snare is a combination of two sounds put together. We've got the kick sound, and we've got an F sound. And if we put them together, you get the PF snare. Now, when you're first trying to get this sound down, you might find it sounds more like this. Don't worry about it. That is actually the correct technique. The next step is to try and build up more pressure with the kick sound and get the F sound coming as quick as you can after the kick. So going from and trying to build it up to get this sound. That's the one that we want. Brilliant. Okay, next we're going to try some beat patterns using all three of those fundamental sounds. Here we go.
School of beatbox.